Greetings, loves. Greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Lakur, in case you guys didn't see her comment, is, having a difficult time with everything. And she has chosen not to discuss um, these things at this time. And she probably won't be discussing it because it's not something that she wanted to deal with. Um, and it was brought up. It's not like it's something that, she came along and brought up. It was brought up by some malicious people. So, um, that live stream won't be happening tonight, but I think I said pretty much everything that I even need to say myself concerning that matter. Um, at the end of the day, uh, the brother's problem isn't with me, and neither is Tasha's, and Tasha's problem really isn't with, CCCTV. Her problem is not really with Lakur. The issue was and probably is between the two parties that had the relationship. And, they need to deal with that themselves, and individually. So I'm going to get into, and I know it's late, but I'm going to get into one of the videos that I have been wanting to do. February is a short month, only by a couple of days, but hey, it's Black History Month, so, it's extremely short. So I want to get into some of the videos that I've been saying that I wanted to do for this month, being that it is technically Black History Month. And normally I don't deal with their holidays or anything like that, but it's always a good time to put out information about our people, especially during a time where, people are more likely to pay attention and receive information. So we're going to talk about 16 Black women in history that some of you may have heard of and some of you may not have. And I am noticing that I did not finish the title of the video. But hey, I'll have it titled up by the time it's uploaded and finished. All right. So it's Black History Month, and I don't see, surprisingly, a lot of videos or posts. There's some on Instagram, but greetings, Danmanshire. I think that's how you say it. Welcome. But I don't see that many posts or videos being done talking about our people, which, we should try to do it quite often. But I would think that during this month, this would be a lot of people's content, and it's not. People are steadily fighting each other. So, well, you know, um, a lot of schools have curriculums focused on, notable Black people for this month. And I don't think that a lot of these ladies are mentioned, but I'm going to share my screen and pull up pictures as I go along. And this is going to be a short stream. You can look up further information on these ladies if you want to. But I'm just going to do just a little bit. And, these are not really uncommon women. A lot of you have heard of them, but it's not like they're constantly talked about and constantly brought up. So I'm trying to get my pictures up. And I want to say welcome to everybody who is in the room and everybody who will be joining on the playback. Don't forget to hit that like button and share the video out. All right. Share the video out so other people can enjoy this information. And let me pull my chat up. Dookie Badass. Greetings, love. Greetings. How are you guys doing? So it's the AM for you guys already. It's only 12 o'clock. But great rising to you all anyway. And I did tell you guys that my focus will be on women. Not really for any too much more particular reason than I'm a woman. So yeah, my focus will be on women. So I am trying to pull up these pictures that I have. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you guys, well, you're saying morning. Whatever way, I hope you guys are having a great evening. We're a little slow getting here. I had everything pulled up, but now it's gone. And I don't know about anybody else, but I am so tired of the drama videos and things like that. And when I do come on YouTube, there is other channels that I tend to watch in all kind of categories. A lot of the channels that I watch are high-end YouTubers, if you will. They are people who have a lot of subscribers. So they don't really mingle, if you will, in the YouTube streets, And so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm having a hard time pulling up the pictures. And so I just wanted to put a picture of each lady along with what I'm saying about them. So let me try and close this out, open it back up again, because I really don't want to do it without the pictures. And like I said, I did have them up. Redbone, Narrow Goddess TV, greetings, welcome. Godbody Sean News, greetings. It's always good to see new faces. Alston, greetings. Greetings. Always good to see new faces, fresh faces. That's a good chance that you guys aren't, coming from places where there's a lot of drama, and you aren't looking for a lot of drama. Because I guarantee you, although I might have to say something every once in a while, This channel definitely isn't drama based. So y'all see Streamlabs and they're telling you don't forget to share the video. So please don't forget to share the video out. And we're gonna get started here in just a second, you guys. Just have to excuse the delay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play a little tune real quick because I'm I'm trying to pull this up. Okay, so I finally got it right at the end. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull up the first one. And I think you guys are all really familiar with this lady here. Let me see. So we have 16 of them. And see, if this was something else, I wouldn't have any problems, you know. But that's just the way it goes. Gotta have a little challenge, I guess. All right, so I'm about to share my screen, and this is definitely one of my most favorite sports here. And you guys know this lady, Miss Althea Gibson. hmm At least I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of her. Well, I don't know. You might not be if you're not a long time tennis fan. But Miss Althea Gibson was the first black woman to compete at Wilmington. And this was back in 1951. So according to the International Tennis Hall of Fame, opening doors for black athletes everywhere. And she didn't just compete, her victories were legendary. And she went on to win single titles at the US Open and Wilmington in 1957 and 58. And the Associated Press named her Female Athlete of the Year, and those same 2 years in a row. That's pretty hot. So in 2016, Serena Williams recognized her accomplishments when she tweeted, Althea Gibson paved the way for all women of color in sport. And though Gibson is most famous for her tennis skills, that wasn't the only sport she played. She also became a professional golfer in 1963, and that's just years after winning her tennis titles. So that's pretty awesome. And greetings to everyone else coming in the chat. If I missed you guys because I don't have my page pulled up because I'm trying to get these pictures up. So you might not hit the big screen tonight. Greetings, I mean. And no, I'm actually live tonight. Greetings, Dallas. And I know you said that you had something you wanted to ask me. So I don't know if you did send a message or not. It could be in my requested folder if you did. I just recall that you said that. All right, so the next sister we have here, this beautiful, beautiful lady here, is Amelia Boynton Robinson. Okay. And she helped organize the 1965 Selma March. And she became the first Black woman to run for Congress in Alabama. And although she didn't win, her campaign raised much needed awareness about voter discrimination. And after she died at the age of, get this, 104, former President Barack Obama recognized her legacy in an official statement, which he said she was strong, as hopeful and indomitable of a spirit as quintessentially American, as I'm sure she was that day 50 years ago, he said, according to the Washington Post. To honor the legacy of an African American hero like Amelia Boynton requires only that we follow her example, that all of us fight to protect everyone's right to vote. Okay, so I mean, I have mixed reviews on that, but I do, like I said before, and hopefully, when Leo come on, and we may have to do that. Maybe tomorrow. I got a guest on my podcast tomorrow evening. So sometime this week, she and I'll get together and maybe we'll discuss a little bit of politics and, um, talk about it. Because, like I said to you guys before, you definitely need to be paying attention to the local people, you know, and not uh, focusing on the president himself like a lot of the press try to make you do. You know, you can focus on your Senate. You got to focus on the ones that actually um, write up these policies and change these rules, and whom you can influence to create new rules. So this lady might not quite look like she's one of us, but her name is Jane Bolin. Okay, her name is Jane Bolin, sitting at her desk, and that looks like a gavel right there. So she was a trailblazer for women of color who practiced law, and she was the first Black woman to graduate from Yale Law School, and she became the nation's first Black woman judge in 1939. Okay, well, can you imagine how to? I mean, I see how she looked, so maybe that helped her out, but it had to be quite difficult to become a Black judge in 1939. So, according to the New York Times, Bolin ruled on important family court cases throughout her career, and she worked with former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt to support a program that aimed to root out crime amongst young boys. In addition, as the Times pointed out, she ruled against the assignment of probation officers based upon race. Greetings, Tim. It's been a minute and a half since I seen you in here. Goodness. I think y'all do that on purpose so I can be like surprised when y'all come through. Be like old family visiting. Like, what? Haven't seen you in a minute. But I don't really see you guys anywhere else. So I think that you have quite a healthy balance when it comes to being on YouTube. You kind of take it in doses, and that's really good. Or, taking the you know, the crazy places in doses. So this beautiful lady here is Miss Daisy Bates. And after moving to Little Rock, Arkansas, she helped start one of the first Black newspapers. We got to give it up to the ones who and did things me. Somebody had to do it first. And nowadays, the things that they've done has been done and done and done by so many of us time and time again that you don't really think about. There was a time where we couldn't do any of these things at all. And it was very, very difficult for that to even be thought of. So there was a lot that these people had to go through to bust those doors down. So, I mean, nowadays, nobody's really wanting to start a newspaper, but for a very long time, that was a very popular method of getting news, information, coupons. You could still get coupons through paper, but you know, and it was a good money maker for sure. You know, so she bust down the doors on that, starting one of the first Black newspapers that was entirely dedicated to the civil rights movement. Greetings. So her paper was entirely dedicated to the civil rights movement. And this came from womenhistory.org. And the civil rights activist served as president of her local NAACP chapter. And, that was before Jesse and all of them. So, hey. The civil rights activist served as president of her local NAACP chapter and eventually played a huge role in ending school segregation in Arkansas by organizing the Little Rock Nine, a group of 9 Black students who integrated Central High School. So Arkansas recognizes the third Monday in February as Daisy Gadsden's Bates Day to celebrate her legacy. So a lot of you guys may not have known that. Um, I mean, I think it's wonderful that they're recognizing a day for her. That's pretty big, especially somewhere like Arkansas. You know, um, it's very good that she started the paper and that it was dedicated to the civil rights movement. You know, the integration, of course. Hey, She accomplished what she wanted, what she desired, what she set forth, but um, integration, I guess she had the same mindset as maybe Martin, thinking that that's something that we needed. That's not something that I'm for at all. And I don't think it was a good idea. We should have stayed separate. Um, and I think we would have fared out a lot better that way. You know, we had so much more pride for ourselves and we worked together better. I think we would not be in this position at all if we had not focused on integration. I guess our people just felt like they were being treated as if they were lesser than because they couldn't mingle with the other ones. And maybe they thought that if they were able to mix and mingle, then that would put them in a position to be, I don't know, as like, hey, I'm human too. You're trying to say I'm not, I'm this, I'm that, and we're good enough for your white sinks. And I don't know, because I mean, not having been there, it's like you can't even imagine what the mindset could have been. Because if they're getting the crap of it all and they're saying, okay, this is your color bathroom, but our bathrooms are nicer. You get this, but ours is nicer. So maybe our people felt like, hey, we deserve all that good stuff too. I don't know. We deserved a good education too. I don't know. I guess they should have did made it all for themselves instead of wanting to mix and mingle, because that was just a really, really bad idea. Really, really bad idea. And I think that helped contribute to the way that, our people treat each other now and don't support each other as much. You know, the man's ice is still colder. It's always colder. So, mm, so we're gonna move on to the next sister. Yeah, and I don't pull my tab out. Didn't mean to. And this is Miss Miriam right here. This is Miriam Makeba. Yeah, Miriam Makeba. Not sure if you guys are familiar with her, but while there are incredible women of color in U.S. history, it's important to recognize the work done by Black women around the world. Miriam Makeba was a South African singer. Now you can look at her and tell she's from Africa. She was a South African singer who spoke out against apartheid for decades. According to The Guardian, her death in 2008. After her death in 2008, South Africa's former president Nelson Mandela said she was the South Africa's first lady of song and so richly deserved the title of Mama Africa, and she was a mother to our struggle and to the young nation of ours. Wow. Wow. Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with apartheid, but that had to be very dangerous, especially as a woman to try and speak out against something like that. So, yeah. And Paul says, we were good enough to build your country, but not good enough to live in it with dignity and respect. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I feel like it was, I guess, a way that they felt like they were going to be able to get more respect from them. And I'm just, I'm more of a Malcolm type. And I feel like his way was better. Should have demanded it. But, we're such wusses now. So, hey, should have took it. I mean, took it. Take it. So this is Alexa Kennedy. Alexa Kennedy with this beautiful smile here. Confident smile. Our people were so much more confident back then, you know? So this is Dr. Alexa Kennedy, and she became the first Black woman neurosurgeon in the US in 1981. According to the US National Library of Medicine, she helped save thousands of lives, mostly children, according to the changing the face of medicine. Notice how we got two already, and their focus was on the children. A lot of people just skip past the children nowadays. Our children aren't protected or anything. So we had a lot more integrity back then and took care of our business a lot. During her 20-year career, she saved thousands of lives. And her home state of Michigan recognized her milestones by inducting her into the Women's Hall of Fame in 1989. And she was named Teacher of the Year by the Children's Hospital of Michigan. All right. Wow. Neurosurgeon. Okay. Ooh. Can you imagine being brilliant and skilled enough to work on people's brains? Uh, you said Malcolm X's way was the path, King's was the way of the dead. I, yeah, I mean, I don't really condemn King, but uh, he, I guess, did things that he felt like was going to make improvements at the time. And it was just not so. I mean, I say this with caution because I wasn't alive then. I can only just kind of give a futuristic perception looking back. I personally don't feel like I would have wanted to integrate. Seeing them and how they were treating us, I wouldn't want to be next to them and mingle with them. And um, ugh, I would want to keep my distance. That's just the way I'm looking at it. And I don't think that I would be any different, especially actually literally having the experience of being treated that way. Why would I want to be closer to them? Why would I want to be more in their presence? I wouldn't want to sit there and let them spit in my face and yell at me until they're given. Like, no, that couldn't have been me. That wouldn't have been a route I would have taken. I would have definitely been on my Malcolm X type stuff. So y'all know this lady right here. Yeah, this is Miss Claudette. This is Claudette Coben. You know? Yeah, y'all heard about Rosa and all that good stuff. Well, Claudette Colvin refused to give up her bus seat for a white person months before Parks did. She was only 15 years old at the time. So why she's not recognized as much? Hey, we know the game. It hasn't changed. It didn't just get started recently. It always has been a thing. And, they decide who they want to put in your face. You best believe it, whether it's through them or they use the people you looked up to and listened to as quote unquote leaders or whatever. And my guess is Rosa had that look and she was light skinned, da 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 da. I don't know. But this young lady also was 15 years old. So that could have been a factor. Who knows? But her name isn't mentioned as frequently as Rosa's, although we're learning more about her and hearing more about her nowadays. But she said, my mother told me to be quiet about what I did. She told the New York Times in 2009. She told me, let Rosa be the one. White people aren't going to bother Rosa. Her skin is lighter than yours, and they like her. She told the publication that in her heart, she knows that Parks was the right person. So, hey, There's an answer right there. And I can imagine how that probably was how it went down. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about 16. There were actually 17, and I'm skipping over one. Okay. I'm not even gonna say why. I'm just skipping that one. So we gonna move on to the next one. I think there should be an EFF here, like what's spreading in Africa. What is EFF? I'm not sure what that stands for. EFF. And then when you say spreading in Africa, you have me kind of nervous. You have me kind of nervous. Julius Malema is the Malcolm X of Africa. Okay, that's what's up. I'm not even sure who that is, but I definitely will look into that person. Sounds like somebody I should know about. So let me share the next picture. So this takes a little back and forth between screens to do this, y'all. So, okay, so we have Miss Constance here. All right, that's our next lady, and this is Constance Baker Motley. I've seen her face a lot, and she looks tough, and she had to be there sitting in between those two guys. Women sitting up with men talking about things, trying to help make decisions is something that has been looked down upon a lot. But I don't understand it because women should be everywhere decisions are made. Um, Hello. But she was a lawyer and an activist, and the first Black woman to become a federal judge and serve in the New York State Senate. Miss Constance Baker Motley lived in a revolutionary lifestyle during the civil rights era. So while practicing law, she focused on civil rights cases, per the New York Times, and once even represented Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. On top of that, she won 9 out of 10 cases that she argued in front of the Supreme Court. Hey, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm not saying that we don't have people who get in these positions today to fight for us, but they don't really, uh, you know, it's not enough, and it's not enough for the right people, not at all. So let me pull up the next picture. Julius Malema, EFF. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look into that. Definitely going to. Thank you all for being here, and make sure you hit the like button on this video. Let YouTube know, you know, let them know. Yeah, this is the kind of content we like now. This is the kind of content we like, for sure. They will happily promote the drama videos. I don't even have to share them out. Google knows what I'm about to say, right? And they let everybody know to come on over. When they see what I'm pulling up to get ready for my live stream, or they hear me talking about it, then they don't share it. They don't put it. They don't let it show up in the home tab or none of that. So, Dr. Mae Jemison, she became the first Black woman astronaut to travel into space in 1992, and her accomplishments don't end there. So today, she's a doctor, former Peace Corps officer, and engineer. On top of that, she led the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency's 100-year Starship program, which aims to send humans outside of our solar system in the next century. And this is according to space.com. Hey, that's a lot for one woman to be doing, okay? That is a lot for one woman to be doing. So, all you ladies on here on YouTube battling each other, showing your bodies, and all that other little crazy, silly little stuff y'all be doing. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna try to do one of these videos every day. Because we have some great women currently and in history who are doing great things. And it's not setting up on YouTube with drama every day and degrading themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just you're not doing enough. You're not. Mm-mm. You got to step your game up. Did you hear all that this is doing and has done in her life? Jeez, come on. Social media has really done, well, I can't blame it on social media. I just feel like our people have allowed social media to do you a great disservice. You know, when you hear the story about the brother who his female was giving him money so he can boost his YouTube channel, like what? Oh, you could have did better than that. But those are goals and aspirations for a lot of people to be popular on social media. And look at this lady, Marian Anderson. Okay. Marian Anderson. All right. Look at that dress. I like that. I just like that. It's different. Okay. So now my page is skipping. Let me scroll back down. So she was the first Black person to ever perform at the Metropolitan. I should have known with that dress. The opera. She performed at the Metropolitan Opera in 1955. The first Black woman to perform at the Metropolitan Opera in 1955. And this is via PBS. So she was also, okay, what? It's not enough to be singing opera? It's not enough to be the first Black woman to perform at the Metropolitan Opera? She's also known for more than that? What? You mean to tell me what? Yeah. So she was the first Black woman invited to perform at the White House. And this was in 1986. So y'all know which president she performed for, right? Ronald Reagan. And he also gave her the National Medal of Arts, according to the Andersons official website. Ooh. That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you guys like opera at all? Do you like opera? Just be real. Greetings. Greetings. So let me see. I have to go. Is this? I think this is the lady. Yeah, this is her. Because I had to find her picture. All right. So let me share the screen for the next one. Well, I'm doing how many I said? 16. And she's commonly heard of. So I'm going to be talking about women throughout the rest of the month. Let me plug up here. So this is Miss Gwendolyn Brooks. This is Miss Gwendolyn Brooks. And I'm going to read something by her, and you guys will probably be able to figure out what it is that she did. You can see her sitting there with her typewriter. I know it's a small picture. Let me see if I can enlarge it a little bit. It wasn't really that small when I saved it. Man, any of you guys ever used a typewriter? I used to think typewriters were so cool. So we are the things of dry hours in the involuntary plan. Grayed in and gray. Dream makes a giddy sound, not strong, like rent, feeding a wife, satisfying a man. But could a dream send up through iron fumes? Is white and violet fight with fried potatoes? And yesterday's garbage ripening in the hall. Flutter or sing in an area down these rooms. Even if we were willing to let it in, had time to warm it, keep it very clean, anticipate a message, let it begin, we wonder, but not well, not for a minute. Since number 5 is out of the bathroom now, we think of lukewarm water, hope to get in it. So that's different. And it didn't all rhyme. And it's one of those poems that, you got to think. You got to think. I like poems like that. It may not immediately make sense, but you could take bits and pieces of it and figure it out. And then you know exactly what she's talking about. Or you have your own interpretation of what she's talking about. Poems like that are like art to me. And so she definitely was a poet. And the Poetry Foundation describes Gwendolyn Brooks as one of the most highly regarded, highly influential, and widely read poets of the 20th century American poetry. And y'all know who we always hear about as being the famous woman poet in history. And everybody loves Maya Angelou. But there were others. And Miss Gwendolyn Brooks was definitely one of them. In fact, she was the first African American to win a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. And this was in 1950. And her poems described the everyday life of Black Americans in cities like Chicago, where she grew up. So now you can take that and go over that poem again, and then you can better relate to what it is that she's saying and imagine what she's talking about. And I love this next picture so much. Oh, I love the style and everything. So let me share this picture of Miss Mary. Oh, let me take the screen back down. I forgot I had to size it up to get that to be seen. Okay. So you guys should be looking at it now. And this is Miss Mary Mahoney. Look at her. So Miss Mary Mahoney became the first licensed Black nurse in the U.S. in 1879, according to the National Women's History Museum. She couldn't work in a hospital because of the discrimination of colored face in the 19th century. Again, this is probably some of the reasons why they want it to be integrated. But if we had our own hospitals, who cares? Nobody can better take care of us but us, if that's what we wanted to do. But why the thought of just getting to their hospital, instead of, hey, let's build our own hospitals and run it. I get the obstacles, I get all of that, but yeah, it could be done. But she spent years as a private nurse instead. So private nursing can pay a lot. Definitely. And if you get the right client, that could really pay off. But there's a lot of different experiences to be had. Working in a hospital, you probably end up who knows. So that's still cutting her short if she's not able to work in a hospital when other nurses that aren't of color was able to. That's crazy. However, she later co-founded the National Association of Colored Graduate Nurses. That's the NACG. CGN. And she did that in 1908 and gave its convention's opening speech the very next year. And this is found in womenshistory.org. And after the 19th Amendment was ratified years later, she became one of the first women registered to vote in Boston. Ah, our people were fighters, you know? They wanted to break barriers. They wanted to make sure it was their goal to do the things that they wouldn't allow us to do. They had dreams. They worked hard. They set forth. They made it happen. And I feel like they had a lot more obstacles than that we had. Um, and they definitely had less things accessible to them to make things easier. And they broke more barriers then than our people are doing now. That determination, it's just so many things that are missing. Like, wow. Uh, so let me pull up the next one. You said name again. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but you may have to come back and look at the stream again because I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about. Okay, so now my tab is messing up, and I don't want to have to keep waiting on it because we got a few more to go. But I do want to give you pictures with everybody, so um, I don't know why it's doing this at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's really weird. That's really weird. Google, are you doing this on purpose? Because you don't want me to talk about this? So if I was sitting here going in on somebody, we would have no problems. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have any problems. Everything will load just fine. All right, so I have to reload the page and pull it back up again. But in the meantime, I would like to ask you guys, like, during Black History Month, if you don't take additional homeschooling at home with your children on a regular basis, do you take the time during Black History Month to educate your children on the people in our past and, you know, a lot of great things that they did? And do you, you know, kind of explain to them the hardships that our people had, you know, to get across to them how magnificent it is for them to have breaking these barriers, you know? I just think it's important to that they know these things. You know, these are the things that we ended up finding out here later in life, but it's easily accessible now. And so it should be standard, you know, standard information for our children. It makes a big difference, you know, for them to know, you know, about wonderful people in our past and their strength and their courage and their accomplishments. And y'all know this lady here. You know Miss Fanny. Yeah. Fannie Lou Hammer. Yeah, you know Miss Fannie Lou Hammer. Another beautiful dark-skinned sister. And she fought, for Black people to have the right to vote. And she suffered permanent injuries because of police beatings. In 1964, she ran for Congress as a member of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. We don't have no Democratic Party nowadays named like that. I said the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, which she helped found. Okay, she was a founding member. The party pushed back against the Democratic Party's all-white delegation Uh-huh. See, that's not just something that came from the Chappelle show. The black delegation would like to trade. Nah, it was a thing. Hmm. So she pushed back against the Democratic Party's all white delegation in Mississippi that year. And even after the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965, she still continued to speak out against voters' discrimination. And that is wonderful. That is wonderful because she knew that just because people were allowed to vote, that was not the end of it. That wasn't the end of it at all. There still was issues, and she decided that she was going to say something about it. So that's wonderful, man. Can you imagine getting beat down by the police and so many times, and to the point where you have permanent injuries? I get they shoot and they kill nowadays. Well, they always did, but I think they tend to do that more than they just beat you down. But I mean, it had to be kind of tough that to be in a time where everything you tried to do, you was getting stomped out, and you had to get right on back up and go right back for it again. Knowing you was gonna get stumped out again, spit in your face, and said all kind. I mean, I really admire all of these people, men and women, who went through all of that, because I know for a fact it is not something I could have withstood. I don't have a problem telling it like it is. I could not tolerate it. And I know a lot of people look at it as strength, but I don't consider it a weakness that I know I wouldn't be able to tolerate it. That's just how I'm built. Like, you're not spitting in my face, you're not getting in my face calling me no names, and you're not gonna put your hands on me, and I'm just gonna put my head down and try to deal with it, try to take it or whatever. I just I'm snapping back immediately, because I don't care who you are and how you organize this world. You're not about to treat me like that. It's just not happening. So you know, I don't consider any time of our existence to necessarily be better than the other. But I'm definitely thankful that I was not having to live in their times, because I wouldn't have made it. I just wouldn't have made it. And some of you guys might be familiar with this lady either. Look at her with a purple. Go ahead, go ahead. This is Miss Dorothy Height, and she was a civil rights activist who's considered the unsung heroine of the civil rights era. She advocated for improving the lives of Black women, and she also pushed for women's rights, in addition to leading the National Council of Negro Women for 40 years. 40 years. She was dedicated to something for her people. She helped found the National Women's Political Caucus alongside feminist activists like Gloria Steinem. And she received the Congressional Gold Medal for her work in 2004. Ah, wow. I don't know what that feminist movement was like, so I'm not going to judge it. Mm-mm. Um, it probably was quite different, and especially in a way that helped them, you know? So Let's see. Let's go to the next lady. You know what? That's not the right lady. Um, we gotta go to Miss Sylvia next. That's who I'm on. Sylvia. Now this one is a little quite different. Quite different. And there go your boy. There go your boy, y'all boy, not my boy. And this is Sylvia Hernandez. Some of you guys might remember her. You might remember Obama penning her up. Let me scroll back up because I don't want too far down. So Sylvia Mendez, excuse me, I said Hernandez. Sylvia Mendez and her Mexican/Puerto Rican family fought to, here we go again with some more integration. They fought to integrate schools years before Brown versus Board of Education. Thanks to their determination, California became the first state to desegregate schools in 1946. Former President Obama awarded her with the Medal of Freedom in 2011, and I bet he did. I bet they were glad to give her a medal for doing that. Bring us your children so we can show them how we want them to be, and we can tell them the lies we want them to have. Okay, and we can teach them how to become hard-working citizens for our companies and to help keep our families rich and build our empires and legacies, and how to boy, I could go on and on. Desegregating the schools, man, we need to resegregate those schools. Get your children out them schools, okay? Get them out, get them out. All right, so we are on our last sister here. So we going back to Miss Ellen. Look at her. She dapper now. That's right there. Look at her. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Nice. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The U.S. hasn't ever had a woman president, but other regions of the world are ahead of us. Yep, you heard that right. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf became the first woman president in Africa. In 2006, she was elected president of Liberia, and her term ended earlier in 2018. Did y'all notice? Because that wasn't too long ago. Amidst controversy. But Johnson Sirleaf, who is a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, made history nonetheless. Absolutely, she did. So, this isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but these women and countless others deserve to be recognized for the ways they changed the world. Whether it's something that ended up being a wonderful thing for us or a lesson learned, sometimes it takes people to break barriers and change the ways to open up doors, and then it's up to you, each different generation, to take a look, re-examine, and say, okay, we have access to it now, but we need to do it a little differently. We need to do it like this. We need to change it like this. So, but thanks to their efforts, all these brown women today are well set to make history ourselves. So, I'm not going to promise that I'll be back tomorrow with more on women, but I am hoping to, because I do want to do this, because we're already past like half of the month. And I really haven't even, this is like the first real official video. And I did create a long list of people that I wanted to talk about. Um, there will be one guy, simply because there was a guy that I wanted to touch on before Black History Month and I hadn't got around to it. So I think this is a wonderful time. And so I might make him next. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I appreciate everybody who came to listen, especially at this hour. And thank you for hitting the like button and sharing this video. If you haven't subscribed, click that bell. Click that bell, subscribe. Make sure your notifications are on. And join me back here again. If you have something going on, you have a business or something like that, it is Black History Month. You want to come on, you want to talk about it. For the audience, keep in mind that is not me officially per se, but if you want to come on and talk about what services you offer, anything like that, I will definitely open my platform, being that it's Black History Month. And I say that because normally, it would be something like, okay, I need to know a little bit more, because you got to be careful about who you're introducing, you know. Turn out to be another brother polite, and they're going to be like, guess where we first saw him at? So Soul said they was cool. That Soul, no. It's up to you to build your own relationships and do your own research. But allowing people to come on and talk about their business and stuff, hey, we should do more of that. And less hopping on the panel so we can get at each other, and sit there for hours and just talk about like dumb stuff. So whatever. I just have to point that out. Due to my recent disappointments. Yeah. Because I'm just in that mode right now. Cut it out. So again, thank you guys for all coming through. I didn't even get to highlight y'all on the screen. And none of that. We're going to put the bot up there. What's up, Soul Alchemy's bot? And Damon Sure, I appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. And Dookie Badass be in the building. And thank you so much for your beautiful compliment, Dookie Badass. Dookie Badass is always bringing flowers and hearts. And greetings, Alston, for coming through. Critical Truth with QI. I be seeing you all over in chats and stuff. I don't know if you're still having your show. I'm going to have to go click on your thing and go to your channel, because YouTube is like, if you don't watch people. Chef, you are not asleep. Okay. I don't know where that came from. Chef, you are not. In the words of Gordon Ramsay, it's sheet. Okay. I don't even know. That was so weird. Because I'm actually...
National Ultrasound has focused on being the most knowledgeable in the ultrasound marketplace since our founding
in 2003. Tab.
Our sales team includes experience.
I was thinking that this was coming from my phone. I was like, yeah, my phone is really, really tripping. So that was another tab. So I don't know. Maybe I clicked on it by accident trying to exit out of the... Yeah, that was so weird. But let me scroll, because I was scrolling down my phone to try to get to your profile so I can click to your page. Because like I said, if you don't watch people's videos in a while, YouTube will stop notifying you. So you have to make sure that you don't see a video from people in a while. That don't mean that they not still doing stuff. You have to go back and check them out. Oh, I didn't. Redbone Novel Goddess TV. Greetings to you. Thank you for coming through. That's an interesting name. God Body Sean News, greetings. And some of you guys, I can tell from the way that your channel is worded that you do content. You're not just somebody who is watching other people's channels. So when you have a name like that, it kind of makes me curious. Like, let me go over here and look and see what kind of content they got over there. You know, it's always good to find channels that have different things on it, positive content. I mean, Ali, thank you so much for coming through. And we live tonight, Dallas Cowboys. Always good to see you. And Time Color Speed, thank you for coming through. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. And Paul, thank you for coming through. Thank you so much. And your participation, thank you so much. Let's see who else we had. Just Be Real. I know that's right. Just Be Real. Thank you so much for coming through. And I think that was it. And you know what Streamlabs is saying? Don't forget to share the video. Alright. And don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't. Please don't. So thank you guys, and you all get some rest. See you in the next video. Rest well, guys.